So India is turning the screws on Pakistan. The Chenab River is thinning. Water levels have plunged in Akhnoor near Jammu. Gates at major dams have been closed. And the impact is clear. Parts of the Chenab River flowing towards Pakistan are drying up. And this drying up is not seasonal, it is strategic. India has halted the controlled release of water from its dams. It started with the Baglihar dam on the Chenab River. The next is the Kishanganga Dam. It is built on a tributary of the Jhelum River. India could shut the gates of this dam too. Now, as you know, Chenab and Jhelum are rivers. They're both part of the Indus Treaty, a treaty that set the rules for water sharing between India and Pakistan, a treaty that India has suspended after the Pahalgam terror attack. And now the dams on these rivers are being leveraged. They give India control over the release of water, over when to release and how much to release. That control is now being weaponized. And this is very important because Pakistan depends heavily on the Indus system. 75% of its renewable water comes from outside the country and most of it comes from India. Cities like Karachi and Lahore, they depend on these waters. Pakistan's farmers need these waters. 90% of their crops are watered through these rivers. So the Indus River network is critical for Pakistan's survival. The water supply was protected by the Indus Treaty, but India has suspended the treaty. This is a treaty that withstood wars and tensions for more than 6 decades. It was brokered by the World Bank back in 1960. This treaty survived 4 wars and years of cross-border attacks. In all these years, India never touched the Indus water. But this time it's different. By suspending this treaty, India has changed the rules of engagement. Earlier, before the gates of the dams were opened, India had to notify Pakistan. But that rule no longer applies. And that's not all. India is building on this strength. It has begun work to expand the reservoir capacity at key dams in Kashmir. It is also clearing out some dams, like the Salal and Baglihar dams. These reservoirs are being flushed out. The process itself is called flushing. And here's how it works. First, the gates of these dams are open. Then the waters in the reservoir is released. And then the dam is filled up again. Now, this has never been done before, not since the dams were built. Like I said earlier, India had to inform Pakistan before undertaking such an operation. But that's not the case anymore. With the Indus Treaty on pause, India can spring a surprise. It doesn't have to operate within old limits. And this shift is not isolated. It is part of a broader Indian response. New Delhi has suspended all mail and parcel exchanges with Pakistan. Air and surface routes have all been shut. Indian ports are no longer accessible to Pakistan. Ships bearing Pakistan's flag have now been banned from docking. And Indian ships will no longer visit any Pakistani ports. Plus, trade links are being severed. Customs is on high alert. Officials say Pakistan is trying to bypass bans. They're trying to relabel products and reroute goods into India through third countries. This includes items worth over $500 million, things like fruits, textiles, rock salt. Pakistan is trying to send all of it into India through third countries, and India is stopping that. Indian authorities are watching all these routes. And they have one aim: to hit Pakistan where it hurts the most, to bleed its already fragile economy. Do you know what Pakistan's leadership is doing about this? Their parliamentarians, what are they doing? They've given themselves a massive salary hike in the middle of all of this, a salary hike for lawmakers. Last week, Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari signed an ordinance. It raised salaries of lawmakers by 140%. I will repeat, at a time when their cities could run out of water, at a time when their trade is drying up, these so-called lawmakers of Pakistan are giving themselves a 140% hike. Meanwhile, India is pulling one lever at a time. First, water, then trade and transit, and now post and ports. Each step sends a message that the time for restraint is over and the rules of engagement have changed.